Riese Muller Supercharger. Got two batteries. They come in one battery as well. I think they actually their whole range is so confusing. I've little idea of what it is, but this one is, as I understand it when I bought it, called a supercharger. Right. My impressions of it. I've had it about a month, so my first impressions are in relation to what my expectations were. My expectations were of a well-built, well-functioning, quality machine with the latest electronic or electric technology for cycling. I think in most regards that's what I've bought. Mind you, at a great price. This is I think extremely expensive bike, but so far I'm reasonably pleased. So in the few things that I've done to it, first of all, the seat that came with it was impossible. The seat that I came with it is over here, and the reason it was impossible was as follows. They come in three sizes. I bought the medium size bike, which has the same wheels as this one here, and the problem was that the tires are higher, larger, greater profile, and that made the bike higher, and the seat that was on it has this cushioning device, this spring that makes riding that much easier. The problem is that it adds that amount of height to the bike where you're sitting, even when you've got it at its lowest point. So I fitted a different seat. I mean, this is a racing seat, and I'm not too against it, but I'm not really into racing, and certainly this is not, in my view, a racing bike. This is a cruising bike, which is why I bought it, to go long distances. So I wanted a more comfortable seat, and this is a more comfortable seat. It has some little things, like it's got a cover that comes out, plastic cover you can put over, a rain cover. It's quite neat. But it's got this lever here, and when you push it down, the seat pops up. I'll try and do that. It's a bit hard. Oops, that's it. So when you're riding along, you can get on, and then you can start riding, and you can get the seat higher up. I'm not sure that is actually much of an advantage, I suppose, because if you're tall, you're going to be tall enough to get over the seat anyway. Anyway, it is what it is, and I bought it, but it does sit down low enough for me to ride the bike comfortably. Now, when I bought it, I actually added this to it. I mean, these didn't come with the bike, these two panniers, but as I wanted to use it for a more of a long distance cruiser or shopping bike, I bought these. It does come with this rack, which is very good. It's got a rubber stretch on it, and that's adjustable, and that's adjustable there. It does come with a lock, and the lock, of course, as they keep advertising, which is very good, it's got the key that fits this lock is the same key that fits the lock to the batteries, so that's very handy. But there is no lock to actually be able to start the bike up. I mean, I know you lock the bike physically to stop it being sort of dragged away, but there's nothing to stop the bike starting up. apart from taking the taking this control off, which you can do. That, by the way, was just an attachment I put on for a camera, and in fact it's not very good because the clamp, the camera's here and the clamp is there, and the distance between the two is such that it makes the camera wobble quite a lot. You really need to clamp close and tight to the handlebars, which I've now discovered. So those is a really nice clamp. It isn't really practical, and the footage was just much too shaky. Now most of the components that have been used on this bike are of high quality, I would say. Mostly plastic, and but they are even this water bottle here that clamps on the side and you lift off is quite good. I like the gear change. It's quite a good one. That I added the mirror. Now that's a really fantastic little mirror. I found it really great. It's easily adjustable. You get a tremendous view from it. Now, all I've talked about is just sort of really cosmetics in a way, because the most important thing was, what does the bike go like? What does it ride like? Well, it certainly feels solid to ride. It's well balanced because the motor is down in the center of the bike, so you've got a good low center of gravity, and it's centrally balanced. So the bike feels very well planted on the road, very solid, and the tires are fairly wide. Yet they're sort of road tires, really. So you feel very, very safe on this bike, very confident cornering. They take the bumps and potholes very well as well, but there's no rear suspension on this. Now my A to B Metro over there, that's got front and rear suspension. It's got very, very fat tires. It's got a better saddle. As a cruising bike, actually, it is, I think, a better bike. It's got 2 batteries, one in the frame, one in the back, and it's got a key which you can take out, and that stops anyone being able to put the power onto the bike. In a way, it's a similar setup to this. The most impressive thing I think I've found with it so far is that is the range. The range is tremendous. I mean, cycling for about 20 miles, and the mileage that the estimate from the computer is giving you is actually going up, because of course it takes the estimate from your last couple of miles of use and then comparing that to the battery power that's left, which is reasonable because you'd be cycling at different times into different terrain. So if you're cycling along like I am, you're taking not a lot of power out of it, because you're cycling gently and slowly and just cruising, really. That's giving you a much greater distance. What I didn't like about it, and I still don't like about it, is the amount of assist that it gives. Frankly, I don't think it gives much assist at all. I've been using it in turbo, which is supposedly the most assist that you can get, and I don't think it's much at all. And it surges, because when you're pedaling, that's the very second that you ease off slightly, inadvertent, just the way the rotation on the crank is going, you reach a high point, and your amount of effort is just slightly less for one split second, as both of your feet are in the top and the bottom position. The power cuts, and this is giving this surging effect, which really is annoying. I don't find it pleasant at all. I don't get this on this particular bike, this one here, this one. It's an older one with a throttle on it, and it's got a pedal assist as well. Now the pedal assist on that is tremendous. If you have it on 1, which is the lowest, it's similar to this one. At its highest, about the same, but then you've got another 4. You can go up to 2, 3, 4, and 5 assists. Now 5 is just on this one is quite ridiculous, because it's as soon as you start to turn the wheel, basically the bike surges forward. So it's alright if you're going to try to go speeding along. But when you come to hills, if you're on 1 on the flat, which I am the lowest amount of assist, you can just chop it up to 2 or maybe 3 up a steep hill, and it increases the power. In effect, it's like changing gear. It's into a lower gear. So in a way, you can maintain your speed better, because instead of changing down a gear and having to pedal quicker to keep the same speed up, you just keep pedaling at the same rate. But with extra power, your speed just maintains as it was on the flat. Much better way. Now, you can't do this with this one as easy or at all, because when you're going along the flat, you're in turbo, which is really not giving you that much help. It's all right. I mean, it's easy to pedal. Yes, I agree, and there's quite a lot of resistance there. But as soon as you go up a hill, you've got to change gear. So it's a different way of riding. So this one, you're with maximum assist, and as the gradient increases, you change gear. So you're having to pedal quicker or more. So your speed will go down. Whereas that one, you can maintain the same pedaling rate and the same speed simply by increasing and decreasing the power as you go along, which is, in my view, what electric bikes should be for. And that's what you achieve on the A to B Metro, which does not have pedal electric. It only has a throttle power. So on that one, you ride along in top. You're pedaling in top, and you can just touch the throttle slightly to give yourself a little bit of assist, or ease off completely. As you go up a hill, you gradually twist the throttle to increase the amount of effort or the help from the motor, and that way you can maintain a constant speed. It works really well. But of course, legislators, these people who've made the laws, decided that we shouldn't have throttles. So we went to pedal electric. Well, this is the result. And frankly, though it's a good bike, and I'm getting used to it, the real benefit of electric bikes, which is this one in the middle, is perfected with pedal electric, but with a decent amount of assist, and you can maintain your speed uphill, downhill. I think that's by far the best now. I'm guessing lots of people will disagree with me on this one, but I've had electric bikes now for ever since they started. I had power cycles about 10 years ago or more. So I've had quite a lot of electric bikes. I've got a small, tiny magnetic motor as well. We've got these bikes, and I do a lot of cycling. So my cycling is with electric bikes and not with conventional bikes, and I'm not high-speed racing or anything. I'm just using them as transportation and pleasure. Anyway, back to this one. So I think the build quality is great. The mudguards are very good. I just love the fact that you've got brake light on this as well, because as soon as you turn the power on, the front light comes on automatically. It's always on, and the rear light comes on here, and also there are stop lights on it, and they work on both brakes, and that's really good. I think that's a really excellent safety feature, and frankly, I think all cyclists should have it. I'm actually thinking of putting turn signals on it, because it's another thing which would help safety-wise. What it needs is a bit of a bar coming out each side here with some turn signals on them, and when you've got this amount of battery power, you can run them off of there. So I think I might try and do that. It's got reflective sidewalls, which are also a good safety feature. I mean, all in all, it's a good bike to go a long distance on, which is why I bought it. I've done probably about 100 miles in it so far since I've had it. It's not a great deal, but it's from a cycling point of view, from my point of view, it's quite a lot. But I wouldn't say that it's all things to all men, because it's not as exciting and as much fun as that middle bike there. And I don't think it's as comfortable as the A to B Metro. And though it feels very solid and very well built, it doesn't feel tank-like, which the A to B Metro is. That A to B Metro is such a solid, strong bike. You feel that you could just whack over anything, any bump, any rut in the road, any pothole, and it's going to last forever. I think the weak point in the A to B Metro, frankly, is the batteries, where they don't really make them now, or they're difficult to get, or whatever. Whereas the Bosch system, where they're saying that they will continue these batteries, and if they do improve them, they'll still have them so that they can be fitted to these bike that gets older. So there's some continuity of supply of the technology. That to me is a big plus as well, because the years go by very quickly, and when you've got a lot of money tied up in a product and find that spares are not available anymore, or if there is an advance in technology that you can't apply it to the bike or the car or whatever it is that you've got. So would I buy another one of these now that I've got it? I think the answer to that is probably like most things. I don't know. I just don't know. I think the expectation and the reality are always two different things. But while saying that, I have to say that this bike here, I suppose, from what I paid for it and the pleasure I get out of it, and my surprise at how good it really is, I think probably that one is the best value of all, whereas the A to B Metro with pitfalls and good points, and this one with pitfalls and good points, those two, the A to B Metro and this Riese Muller, were very expensive, probably overpriced in the end, which makes you realize that money doesn't always buy the best product. If I had to pick the three, taking into account what they cost, I'd go for that middle bike. That's my wife's Cactus, Rally Cactus, which is a similar setup to mine, Bosch system. It's a much lighter bike, obviously, than this one, and it hasn't got the distance, because it's only got I think it's a 300 watt battery, whereas this has got two 500 watt batteries. Anyway, we'll see how we go over the next few months.